Well, I was out walking around looking around after a little thunderstorm we had, and I noticed the tarp blew off my shed here. Another one. Well, I'll have to put that back on, but I figured while I was here, it's a pretty good time to take a look around at the Seneca here and see how it's holding up. This used to be my brother's car until he blew the engine in it, and then I bought it from him, and haven't really had a chance to put an engine in it yet. I was thinking I would throw in a Poly 318 that I had, and I still might, I don't know, but to get that, you know, put in there stock, because it's got an automatic behind it, and this one was a manual car, it might be kind of tricky. I'd have to get a lot of sort of hard to find parts. And it might be a little expensive, so I might just buy another slant 6 if I can find one relatively cheap and throw that in at some point. But I've got to get the Cadillac done and out of the way first before I even think about touching this. This one might be the next one on the list. I don't know if I can find that engine, because it's a shame to have it sit here like this. Usually it's covered at least, but since we had that storm, blew that right off. Not worried too much about the paint. It was kind of an amateur paint job to begin with when my brother bought it, so if it shines up, great. If it don't, whatever. I just don't want it to rust out at all, which eventually it will if it stays here. Yeah, another reason for the 6, I'd have to change out those motor mounts, and then the brakes are a different size between the 6 and the 8, so that might be kind of tricky. And the linkages for the shifting. These originally would have came with push button automatics, which would be cool, but then I'd have to set all that up. That's a fair bit of work, I think. So a 6 may just go back in it. Probably the easiest and cheapest way to deal with it, but figured since the tarp was off and we got some sunlight shining in here, I'd show you around a little bit. The interior's still okay. He had this redone not too long before the engine blew up, so still looks pretty nice in here. Just needs to be cleaned a bit. Little homemade headliner he's got. Oh no, he replaced the homemade one. This is a stock one. But yeah, hopefully one of these days I'll find an engine and some time, and we'll get this thing running again and cleaned up, at least pulled out of here. We need more sheds, more permanent sheds. Well, alright, took a little bit of doing, but I got the tarp pulled back over, and I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and grab the wheelbarrow and see if I can't just bury this side of the tarp, and that should hold it down, hopefully, and it won't fly off again, and the Seneca will be at least somewhat protected for now until that tarp wears out, I guess. Alright, I got some dirt kind of piled up around it. I think that should be enough to hold it down anyway, so it shouldn't blow off again. And the Seneca's protected at least somewhat from the elements, so whenever I do get to it, it should still be in halfway decent shape.